Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Hasbro Pulse 40-year anniversary comic book Shockwave figure. So we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes. I'm going to say both, but there's actually three because we can, of course, turn him into his original Generation 1's space laser gun. So we're going to have a look at that as well. And I'm also, of course, going to do some comparisons with the original G1 figures, with the Siege and the that's the Nemesis at the bridge, Shockwave at the front, and of course a load of other figures as well, because I also believe that the Optimus Prime head in there will in fact fit the Earthrise figure. We already know it's going to fit the Commander class because Evans told us, but it also, I believe, fits the Earthrise Prime as well. So let's have a look at this simply stunning box. This obviously is the cover of one of the original comics, which probably needs no introduction, to be fair. And it's, I don't know, do you know what, it's really weird, and I absolutely love Shockwave, but it's not because of this cover. I don't know what it is about the figure. Maybe in the UK because he wasn't released. He just wasn't released. It was the curse of the UK. We never had him. Very quickly, let me just bring up the Grimlock box. I probably should have done that in the Grimlock review, but in honesty, completely forgot. We are going to get a nice scene going along here. We know we're getting Straxus. We know we're getting Flame and Emirate Zaron as well, which is great. And long may this continue, because I think they are spectacular. So it's Velcro together. I presume it's like the Grimlock, and what I mean by that is there's no window. This is really stiff, guys. Be careful as you're opening this, because it just wants to bend the card, and it also just wants to rip. By the feel of it, it just wants to rip that feels quite flimsy. So there he is in there, looking really good. What have we got tucked down there? The head and all the other bits by the looks of it, which attach, yep, around it. So nice bonus there. There is, of course, the actual, it looks like the actual page art, which I'm sure it is. And then if anybody wants to read this, I'm going to slowly move it up, so you might need to slow your speed of your camera down, because of course there's there's 5 different languages there. But there he is, all boxed away, and I think it's brilliant. He hasn't got all of the Siege kibble. But what I need to do though right now is set him free and come right back to you. Okay then, so I've set him free, and first and foremost I'm going to build up this part here, which for some reason, I'll be honest, I didn't realize that you had to build it up yourself, even though I've obviously seen images of this just inside the packaging, but I had no idea that you've got to actually do this. So there's all the parts there. There's the pipe, there's the head. Funnily enough, let's have a look at what we were just saying. So I'm not particularly, I suppose you could, will that pop off without me damaging it? Let's have a go. So this is the Netflix version, and this, yep, you can, there you go. So the Prime head from this particular box set does fit on the Earthrise figure as well. That's interesting. I knew obviously Evan put on his Instagram that it would swap with the new Commander class, but it fits the other one as well, just as well, to be honest. Right, so let's separate these free. Right, and if you're wondering what this is about, guys, if you haven't read any of the comics on this particular channel, there's a full playlist of all 332. That's right, there was 332 Marvel UK comics for Generation 1. They span from 1984, I think, right up to into the beginning of 1992. I could be wrong, I may have got that wrong, but there's 332 of them, and you can go literally from issue 1 right up to the very end. I give you the opportunity to read the comic for yourself. So if you want, you can go back and you can see exactly what this is referring to. So let me have a quick look at the instructions, make sure I get the way that they're supposed to be facing. Right, so they're all sort of curving in. So what I mean by that is we're looking for this to slot, and it looks like it's coming in like so. This is a lovely little bonus, to be honest. It's, I think obviously it's still just a Voyager class price point. I don't think it's leader the same as Grimlock. Grimlock obviously is a huge figure. They gave us the extra swords with him. With this one we got these bits, which for somebody who hasn't got the most, it's weird because I'm quite dexterous, but I've got quite stumpy hands. So right, let's see if this is going to work. So there we go. Right, where will that attach? That is going to attach to there. And then does it just rest? Does it just balance? I presume so. Let's have a look at this. Oh no, there you go. Do you know what? That is brilliant. For a little, I'm not going to say it's free because it's not, of course it comes inside the price, but for a little bonus and for a complete trip down memory lane to that comic book, there you go, there's the Optimus head. I'm going to move that and this out of the way though now, because otherwise it'll keep trying to focus on it. So the way the rest of the video is going to pan out, we're going to do first impressions, we're going to do alternate modes, and then we're going to come back and have a look at him doing the comparisons. So this cell shading, I'm really liking it. It's much more apparent on him than it was on Grimlock. You can see much more black lines from pretty much every single angle. The color scheme is again quite different, of course, to match the comic book. Articulation, the head it will go around. You've just got to maneuver it so it doesn't catch onto the back, and you can look up and down as well, which is great. The arms will come right up. You'll get a full T with there. Of course, if you want to spin it all the way around this particular one, you will probably have to disconnect the tube or the pipe or whatever it is that you want to call it connected to it. This one, of course, no issues with at all. Waist swivel is fine, even with the big backpack. Legs will kick. Oh, do you know what? I completely forgot they were on ratchets. Legs will go all the way back into the splits, and again they will go right out to the side. That's, you don't get many Voyager class figures with ratchets, do you? That's probably what surprised me. Bring it down, you've got a swivel at the thigh, a knee bend again by the sound of it on a ratchet, and then an ankle tilt rock sort of thing going on there with there. So fully articulate, looking really good. The cell shading on the front is fantastic. The head sculpt is brilliant. You've got the half and half shading as well. Do these move? No, they don't move at all, but there's even cell shading on there, which again is great. They've really done this figure some justice, and to be honest, that's pretty much all there is to say about this particular mode. Let's come back and have a look at his official alternate mode first and foremost. So then, here he is in his Cybertronium spaceship alternate mode, which in all honesty, it's not too bad. It's pretty obvious and apparent what it is, of course, supposed to be, and I'm going to show you that in a couple of seconds. And the transformation process, you've already noticed, is separately uploaded to keep the length of this video down. I'm just looking at it now just to see if there's much difference with regards to the cell shading. So unfortunately with this, apart from the really obvious chest piece there, the majority of it in the shins is all, of course, now on the underside of the spaceship. However, again, I like it. I understand why they've done what they've done, or what they've had to do, shall we say. It does in some aspects look a bit like a spaceship. However, of course, what they're very cleverly doing, and they're not allowed to do, and yeah, his feet shouldn't be out, but I've just got his feet out just so I can balance and show you exactly what we're going to do and how clever the homage is. So it's nice and simple. Obviously, fold away the landing gear there, fold away them flaps there. And then this is my only little bugbearer. Maybe if you could fold the feet together, but perhaps that's exactly why they haven't. Because if you fold the feet together, you've pretty much got that, haven't you? Which is, of course, his Generation 1 alternate mode. You've even got the pipe and everything connecting up exactly as it should do. So, you know, if you could fold the feet in, that's probably what they weren't allowed to do. You know, some figures you can fold the heel into the toes, etc. If you did that, then you pretty much have exactly got what you're not allowed anymore, which is such a shame, because in no way, shape or form, I don't know, maybe if this video is still alive in 200-300 years, maybe that might actually be a real thing, but in this current day, in this current climate, it is not a real thing. It is not dangerous, and we should be allowed to still have it. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, it's right, let's bring in some other figures. So that's a Voyager class, Starscream, totally different type of ship, which I'm sure you'll agree. As I say, but I would love to know, in fact, in the comments, anybody who's going to get this figure and who is going to display it in this particular mode. I just, for one, I can't see it. Someone's probably going to comment now, though, just to be awkward and say that they will. But for me, no, it's definitely not about this particular mode. And that's all I've got to pretty much say about it. I'm going to come back, final time, robot mode, shockwave in robot modes, loads of them, and let's have a look at how good or what the differences are compared with them. So here we are then, back for the final time in this mode, and that is of course the way that I am going to be displaying him. Now, as I say, this, although wasn't released in a comic book edition, it is still of course cell shaded as well, and I'm really liking the look of the way these are going. I've still got Optimus Prime to come in the post, and obviously this is the other figure. If I just move the sword out of the way for now, you can see I think they're looking really good. I think what I like about them so much is they're quite original. and it just seems to work. And as I said in the Grimlock video, the blue on that is striking. The different colour scheme on this just really works, and I'm liking where they're going, and I can't wait to get the rest of the cell shaded figures as well. And I can see them doing quite a few, to be honest, because let's be honest, it is the 40 years and they're going to be doing loads and loads of versions of different figures. Like this is exactly the same as that, apart from this was the Takara exclusive known as the Dramatic Capture, which again came in a gift set only available in Japan. This was the original owner of the mold, which is exactly the same but got like a load of armor on. So if you take the feet pieces off and the shoulder cannons, the actual main part of the robot is exactly the same. So again, we've got quite a few uses of this mold since the Siege toy line started. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Now this is the crazy thing, the original figure is massive, as you're about to see. It just about fits on screen, which is great, but look at the homages, just perfect. Really am a big fan of this and how they do all look together. Let me just move him out of the way. Let's bring in a few other figures just to give you an idea of size. I've got loads of random figures lying around, to be honest. There's a couple of Optimus Primes there. They're, I suppose, all classed as Voyager class. What else have we got? I've got a deluxe, but that is a big deluxe mold. I've got the missing link. Funnily enough, I've even got the Hot Wheels still here. I've not put him back in his box. There's a core class. That's a deluxe Bumblebee. So that gives you an idea. In fact, funnily enough, very quickly for third-party figures. Oh, that's New Age. And then that's, I think it's a Mech Fans Toys or Mechanical Studio. One of the twos. There are the legend scale figures. So that gives you a full idea, I suppose, of the size of him. But there you go, he is just a redeco of one of the figures that's been out for quite some time. And as I've already said, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the rest of them. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I think the only way they could have made this any better is to actually include the comic in with it. And I don't know why they didn't, to be honest, probably because Skybound are reprinting them all anyway. So that'll probably be the exact reason why they didn't. But there is the Severed Head, Shockwave, and indeed beautiful box set of exactly this set. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I think they're great.